in a rural county known for its dense woodlands and winding riverbanks. The local search and rescue team had been grappling with a troubling spike in missing person cases. Many people were skeptical when the team welcomed a pit bull named Ranger into their ranks. They were used to seeing German Shepherds or Labradors taking on such tasks. But Ranger, with his broad chest and stocky build, quickly dispelled any doubts about his capabilities. Trained meticulously from puppyhood, Ranger demonstrated not just exceptional strength and stamina, but also a powerful sense of smell that made him invaluable on rescue missions. One autumn evening, an urgent call came in. A hiker had gone missing in a heavily forested area near the cliffs overlooking the river. Ranger and his handler were dispatched along with the rest of the volunteer team. As they navigated through thick brush, Ranger took the lead, his nose working overtime to track the scent of the missing individual. Even as the terrain became more challenging, steep inclines, patches of mud, and fallen logs, Ranger pressed on. His muscular build enabled him to power through obstacles that might have slowed another dog. Rescue organizations that train pitbulls often cite the breed's remarkable tenacity and determination. Historically, pitbulls were bred for their strength and willingness to complete difficult tasks. In the modern era, that same drive can be harnessed in positive ways, such as search and rescue work. Pitbulls can traverse rugged environments, dig through debris, and remain focused under stressful circumstances. Additionally, they tend to form incredibly strong bonds with their handlers and teammates, making them especially loyal partners in high-stakes missions. On the night of the hiker's disappearance, Ranger's dedication shone brightly. Hours into the search, the team had begun to worry about the hiker's safety. Given the plummeting nighttime temperatures, darkness made the rescue even more urgent. Flashlights pierced the darkness, and anxious voices called the missing person's name. Through it all, Ranger maintained his calm and methodical approach, nose low to the ground, searching for any trace of human scent. Suddenly, he alerted, his body stiffened, tail straight, and he let out a short, focused bark. His handler signaled for the rest of the team to stop and shine their flashlights on a nearby cluster of rocks. There, huddled at the base of a large boulder, was the missing hiker. They had slipped while trekking along the edge of the cliff and injured a leg, rendering them unable to walk back to camp. Ranger's sharp nose had picked up the faint trace of the hiker's scent despite the damp conditions and the challenging, uneven terrain. Rescues like this speak volumes about why certain teams choose pitbulls for search and rescue duties. Beyond raw strength, these dogs display a determined work ethic that keeps them searching tirelessly until they find what they're looking for. Their boundless energy is a tremendous asset during lengthy missions that can extend through multiple shifts. Pitbulls can also carry emergency supplies, like small pouches of first aid equipment or water. Thanks to their muscular frames, this attribute becomes especially useful when navigating disaster zones, such as earthquake rubble or flood-affected areas. In fact, numerous organizations now specialize in training pitbulls specifically for tasks like scent detection and disaster response. One such group collaborates with local fire departments and law enforcement agencies, deploying teams of dogs whenever there's a report of a missing person or a crisis like a building collapse. Trainers work diligently to instill advanced obedience skills, teaching the dogs to remain calm in chaotic environments crowded with sirens, heavy machinery, and panicked survivors. Pitbulls thrive on this structure, responding well to clear commands and consistent reinforcement. There's also an important psychological aspect to consider. Pitbulls, once they trust their handlers, develop an intense desire to please them. This desire often translates into unwavering focus during searches, even in extreme weather or distracting conditions. The breed's loyalty means that once they identify the scent, they'll stop at nothing to locate its source, whether that's a lost child in the woods or a survivor buried under debris after a natural disaster. Ranger's successful missions didn't end with the hiker rescue. Over the next year, he participated in multiple call-outs, including a search for a missing child in a swampy area. In that case, the child had wandered away from a campsite and become disoriented among the tall grass and marshy ponds. The rescue team arrived to discover the child's footprints dissolving into mud, making it difficult for human searchers to follow the trail. Once again, Ranger's nose led the way. Even when faced with murky water and thick vegetation, he persisted, occasionally tugging on his handler's sleeve to indicate a fresh scent. After a tense hour, they found the child perched on a tree root above the water, frightened but unharmed. Such achievements help challenge the misconceptions surrounding pit bulls. Too often, the breed is stigmatized due to sensational media stories and irresponsible owners who don't properly train or socialize their dogs. However, pit bulls placed in constructive, purposeful roles, guided by experienced trainers, can excel and even surpass more traditional working breeds. Their willingness to persevere, coupled with their physical prowess, transforms them into remarkable search and rescue partners. Organizations committed to rehabilitating shelter dogs also look for high-energy pit bulls with a strong prey or toy drive, signs that the dog might flourish in specialized work. By channeling that energy into tasks like scent detection and obstacle navigation, these dogs can find a brand new lease on life, a purpose that benefits both the dogs and the communities they serve. Pit bulls that might otherwise have been overlooked or euthanized in a shelter can become life-saving assets in rescue operations. One of the most inspiring parts of training these dogs for search and rescue is witnessing the moment when the community's perception shifts. When people see a sturdy pit bull bounding confidently through the woods to locate a missing loved one, or meticulously sniffing through a collapsed building for survivors, it can prompt a second look at old biases. Suddenly, the pit bull is no longer seen as a liability or a threat, but as a vital helper, often the difference between life and death in harrowing situations. Ranger's story in the wooded county continues to spread through local news reports and social media posts. Testimonials from rescued individuals and their families praise the pit bull's quick actions. Children have begun calling him the superhero dog, and town elders share the tale as an example of courage and devotion. Ranger's handler remains humble, emphasizing that success in the field is a team effort, the synergy between the dog, the trainer, and the entire rescue crew. But no one can deny that Ranger's role has brought renewed respect for pit bulls in the community. In the end, pit bulls trained for search and rescue illustrate one of the breed's greatest virtues: unwavering loyalty. Whether they're tracking a scent through dense forest, sifting through rubble, or braving harsh weather conditions, these dogs never lose sight of their mission. Their physical capabilities pair with a stalwart determination and a desire to protect life, showing the world that, under proper guidance, pit bulls can be some of our most reliable partners in times of crisis.